Hey guys, this is Nathan, and welcome back to Satisfactory. I hope you guys are doing good today. I am doing great. So, I did a bunch of work between episodes and got out to our coal nodes. Now, I did take advantage of the thing that I learned from Total Eclipse, and I have curved foundation sections here. Now, we do have a lot of power poles here, but that's because I wanted them to follow the curve. And in order to make it look reasonable, even in straight sections, we still have to use a whole bunch of them. But I wanted to show you guys how this is done with the curved foundations. So we start with just a regular foundation, and then what we need is our catwalk crossings. And so we will place one of these catwalk crossings here right at the edge of the foundation. Then we come up here next to it. We in my case I press shift with the default keybinds as control, but that allows you to manipulate the position ever so slightly. So there is straight in line with the current catwalk, and then we can put it one click off to the side. So then we can take our foundation, we can put that into the center, if it will let me, put it into the center of the catwalks, and then we repeat the process. So we go another 2 catwalks out, we put in another foundation, and it can be fiddly to hit that edge of the catwalk, but we just continue doing this over and over, and we can actually make a complete circle out of this. But so then you just come back through here, delete off all of the catwalks, and you have this nice little curved section of foundation. Now, it isn't exactly perfect. It does have an ever so slight deviation from, perfectly on the corner, but it's not enough to notice. And strangely enough, we can see that this one is slightly higher than that one. That one is slightly higher than this one. This one's slightly higher than that one. And it just kind of alternates back and forth. And so we don't get the Z fighting that we would usually see with, say, we go like this and we rotate this. And so then what we end up with is often we will have Z fighting. But so, yes, it's very nice. So we have this path that runs clear out to the miners. Now, currently, the conveyor belts do not make it all the way back to the base, because these are Mark II conveyor belts, and they require a huge amount of the reinforced iron plates. So, unfortunately, we've only made it about halfway back so far. But I have tried to hug the terrain as much as I can. There's actually this little spot here where I probably should have just stayed a little bit further out, and I shouldn't have made this last little curve in, so I had to curve back out one to avoid the sand dune. But yeah, I'm not completely redoing that. I've had to redo quite a bit of this multiple times. Now, going along through here, we actually have a lot of short sections of conveyor belt, because once again, I am trying to hug the curves, and that means that we need to have support pillars quite frequently. Now, on straight sections like this, I can make a very long section to the conveyor belt and then throw in the conveyor supports just to make it look like they're holding it up, but I haven't done that in some areas. So I probably will end up going back through and redoing that, because I don't really like the idea of having tons and tons of little sections of conveyors. But the other thing is I have been putting in like some little arched looking bits underneath the areas that are up in the air. That will make this feel much more supported. I will be doing those in a lot of areas, like down through here, and anywhere that it comes up off of the terrain. Now, places like this, I could very easily just fill that in. So if I grab a a piece of foundation here and drop that in there and drop one in. Come on, give it to me right there. And here, that makes it look sufficient. So, yeah, got a lot of stuff here that I've got to clean up. Looks like it's pulling away a little bit on this side, so I'm actually going to pull that one back out. But there's going to be a lot of things to do here. But with all of this set up now, we should be ready to start looking at our coal power. So, of course, I am still waiting on the reinforced iron plates. I have set those up to where they are running into a storage container, but I am not running the rotors into a storage container. So, trying to get as many reinforced iron plates as I can, but I think we need to start looking at a bit of stuff that we can put along the water's edge to put our power plants on. I think we're going to start out with just one power plant just to make sure that we have the power to run our miners, and then we will just continue to add on to it from there. Now, I did come off of the base here, connect these foundations onto that, and then I had to remake this entire section so that it was aligned to the world grid. So we are aligned to the world grid on this little bit, and then we curve off from there. Now, there is, right at the edge of that sand dune is where the original coming from the miners ends and the snapped world grid section begins, and they didn't quite line up with each other. Now, it's not terribly bad, but there is a bit of foundation sticking out into the open. I tried many different options to be able to undo where it's sticking out here, but it is sticking out a little bit. It's unfortunate, but right now I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm going to try to get something set up down by the lake for the power plant. Try to get enough reinforced iron plates to get the conveyor all the way up here, and then I will be back. And now I have a large platform here coming right up to the edge of the lake, and in fact it's slightly going over the lake. I don't think that we could get a water pump in that area anyway, but in order to build water pumps we do need to have copper sheets, so I did go ahead and set a Mark I miner up temporarily on that impure copper node over there. I have a smelter and a constructor making sheets. Those will be going into the storage container there. But we need to set up our coal generator. So, yeah, this thing is rather expensive, but it will be well worth it. So we're going to push this back basically as far as we can. I think right about here somewhere. So push it back and over, and it looks like right there is about as far over as we can go, and that puts us really close to the Titan tree, and we're actually overhanging the back of the foundation a little bit. That's fine. Now, of course, we need to get our coal down here, but we can also use this guy to power the coal to begin with, because we have picked up a little bit of coal from various little nodes out in the world. So let's see how many copper sheets. Nah, not very many. Now, granted, I did just set that up, so it's not like that's going to be blazing out copper sheets for us, but this should be at least enough that we can actually create a pump. So let's go to our production and we get our water extractor. And yes, we do have everything that is needed here. Now, one water extractor should be able to handle, I think, well, it can easily handle two generators, but yeah, we're just going to get one first off. So then we will go ahead and grab our pipes, and we want to set these to go to horizontal to vertical. So we are going to go ahead and bring this up onto here, and then we're going to lift it up so that we can walk under it. That is something that I've seen a lot of people not do when they are setting up their pipes, because I do not like being stuck under pipes. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and lift that up. And so then we can bring this over here. And let's see, we are going to run out of sheets before we run out of, yep. So I think if we pull back 2 away from there, bring that up, so then we should be able to just do that last little bit with whatever sheets we have left. But of course, I do need to get at least one of the coal lines brought up here too at the same time. So I suppose I'm gonna get these lines hooked up. I do think I am going to paint the water pipes kind of a blue color, maybe a cyan type color, because that is a good color to choose for water. And it looks like I went a little too far out here, so yeah, I'm gonna have to rework a bit of this, and that wasn't straight anyway. So yeah, I'll get this all set up all nice and pretty, and then I will be back. Well, now comes the real test. So I have already hooked up the water pump. It is filling up the pipe. We should see the pipe is completely full, and we should have, yep, the generator is completely full. Now at this point, the pump should be shutting down here in just a bit because nothing is flowing anymore, but it doesn't seem to be shutting down. But the pipe is completely full, the generator is completely full. So let's go ahead and throw this 61 coal that we have in here, and immediately we've got power. An additional 75 megawatts. So what we need to do now is very quickly connect this power line to this power line, and that is going to start sending coal our way. So we may run out of power before the coal gets here. I don't know. So, I don't really care for that too much. But so we are elevating this up here as well, the conveyor line. And what we're going to need now is to set up a... Do we need a Mark 1 or a Mark 2? How many do we need? Just 15. So a Mark 1 conveyor lift here. We'll go ahead and set that into here. And the height there is 2 up by the looks of it. And then we are going to set a splitter on that. So let's go ahead and grab a splitter. Invalid aim location. Okay, there we go. And we want our input coming from that side. And then we will just grab... Really? Set that there? Okay. Well, if we can set that right there, that's great. So then we will go ahead and bring this across. Not perfectly in line, but I will fix that later. But so now, let's go ahead and go have a look and see where our coal is. Because we should have coal on the way. If we don't, I am going to be very concerned. So, let's head down here. Somewhere down this line, we should run into the coal. And I'm still not seeing it. That is not a good thing. I guess this is only a Mark II belt. It's not going to move terribly fast. So, I mean, it is kind of a slow belt. But still, I feel like we should have coal down here already. I hope I didn't mess something up in setting these up down here. Coal! Coal! I see coal! Yes! 2 lines of coal! Nice. All right. So, we just need to get this second one down there, but it's not going to be hypercritical because if we only need 15 per generator, that means this one line alone can handle 8 generators. So, yeah, I don't think that we're going to have too much problem with that. So, it's probably going to take it a couple more minutes to get it all the way down to the base. So, let's go see how much power or how much coal we still have in the generator. Hopefully it'll be enough to survive until the coal arrives. Because, I mean, the big thing is right now we are still relying heavily, and I mean heavily, on those biofuel generators. And what I would love to be able to do is get like 3 or maybe 4 of these coal generators set up here so that we can just shut the biofuel down. We'll still keep them hooked up, but they will be as a temporary thing. Oh, we are going to run out of power here really, really soon. Now, we are getting some massive spikes here, upwards of 140 megawatts, and we only have 100 megawatts we have 140, so we are just at the peak of what we can handle with our biofuel generators at the moment. So this guy's going to shut down and we'll be down to 140, 160? Okay, so we're still okay. So we're just waiting for the coal to come in, and shouldn't be terribly far back there anymore. But yeah, in the meantime, I think I'm going to get a second one of these set up here. So let's go ahead and rotate this around. And can't put it in there. Well, maybe we'll face it this way then, just because. And so, is that going to... Are we going to be able to make that work? I hope. Alright, let's go ahead and grab a junction here. So we want this to be in line with that. Yeah, that's going to be about as close as we can get. We are going to... We're going to set that out like that. Yeah, it looks like I am more than a little bit off there. So let's try that again. So if we go here, it should be right about there. And then, oh, really? Okay, well, let's, whoop, that is not what I meant to do. Let's go ahead and change our build mode. Looks like Noodle will connect. And so that should start filling this one with water. And then we need to put another one of these in here. And we can actually just take our conveyor. No, that is not what I meant to do. Take our conveyor and just hook it into... Really? I am missing plates. Oh, good Lord. Well, there's our coal. It's here. It is here. And so this should start pumping coal into that one as well. There we go. Coal is coming into both of them. And so now this guy is generating power. And if we hook this one up to the network, and of course I will need to clean up these power lines and everything like that. Can I please get power? There we go. And now this one's generating power too. We have a sustained power production above our consumption. So at this point, our biogenerators should be shut down and we are running fully on coal power. Very nice. All right, so I'm gonna try to get a couple more of these set up so that we can have some surplus power. Obviously, we've got plenty of surplus coal. So let's get some surplus power so that we can start really building on the base. I'm feeling pretty good about that. So we have 5 coal generators up running full power, and they have been running full power for a while. Now, of course, that requires 2 pumps to supply that many with water. And I think this is kind of a cool little idea here. So I have some, I think these are 2 meter, no, these are 4 meter sloped foundations, half a meter in. And so I've used the walkways to push those in. And that forms a little trough for the pipe to sit in. I think that's kind of cool. Then it disappears under this walkway and pops up through the foundation and then connects into the pipeline. Now, one thing that I have done here, I have actually overlapped the power generators with each other, and by doing this, you can actually get the generators to fit into a one foundation wide space. Now, when you do that, you can offset the opposite side by half a foundation. So you can see the foundation seam here is going through the center of this generator. And in doing that, the coal inputs, as well as the water inputs, if I were to have another one here, the water inputs line up with each other. So I would be able to use this same T and come down on the backside and fuel, well, water the next generator next to this one. Now, strangely enough, it is a little bit picky about how you do that. So I cannot place another coal generator here because it complains about encroaching on others. So it will not let me, it would let me place it 1 meter back or 1 meter forward, but it will not allow me to place it directly in line with the front of the other generator. In fact, it looks like we can be half a meter off. So if you're going to do that, you need to start from the far edge of your generator area. So if I place one here, it will allow me to place the next one right here, overlapping by a full meter or however much. Any way you look at it, it's overlapping a fair amount. You can see in the hitbox there. But there is a fair amount of overlap, but it will allow you to set those in. But as you can see, we could very easily run off of the same water line here, as well as the same coal line. So I am going to go ahead and just leave these generators here. I'm not going to hook them up right now, because right now we have a large amount of surplus power. So we are currently only consuming 195 megawatts. Well, that's our maximum. Our current consumption is around 150. But we have 375 available, plus our 160 as a reserve in the biofuel. So we have quite a bit of power to throw around, and we can very easily hook up, well, these three. Well, if we push this one over against there, we could easily hook up all four of those. We've got 4 on this side, so we could easily hook up all of those. We would have to put in another water pipe. We would have to put an entire pipe in because we can't handle enough volume through one pipe for 8 generators. We can handle enough volume for 5 in one pipe. And actually, this pipe it's flowing pretty good. At times, it will peak at 300 meters per minute. Cubic meters per minute. But so that will allow us now to start ramping up on our production of some of our items over here. So I think I'm going to have a look around and see what nodes we have available, because, I mean, iron-related products is going to be the big ones that we want to get going. I suppose I could also potentially hook up. Well, this is actually running at the moment. But, yeah, we need more iron-related products. So I'm going to have a look around, see if I can find some more iron. I believe that copper is normal. If it is, I definitely think we will be planning on setting up copper there to begin with. And yeah, we'll just have to see what we've got available. It is amazing how fast surplus power disappears. We are currently up to around 250 megawatts of consumption now. So yes, I did get another impure iron node right here. Next to that impure node, I do have, well, no, it's back on the other side of that. That's the copper. But so we can see there is an iron miner down there. Next to it, there is a smelter. And so we have a line of iron ingots coming up to the base. I've got that running through 2 constructors to turn it into rods, and then 3 constructors to turn it into screws. Those screws are being flown up over everything to be dumped into the assembler for the rotors. So that means that I had an extra 60 screws per minute coming from our original screw factory. So I am running those directly into the sink. We have nothing being built up in here. So yes, it's going out just as fast as it's coming in. So yeah, I did just have a bunch of smart plating that I put in there, but we do have 10 coupons now. So let's go ahead and print those off. I think we've got 2 in here. Yes, we do. So we've got 12 more of these. Let's go ahead and see what else we can get. So some of the stuff that I definitely want to get is going to now be the wall related things. So we want our conveyor walls, our wall doors. We are going to want the ramps. And so that puts us at 11 of the 12. And then let's see if there is something else that we can get. And I think management, maybe? Ooh, yeah. This one. I guess we could use that one. So let's go ahead and get the pipeline floor holes. And that's going to be our 12 again. But this is going to start building up now. Not quickly, but we will be building up coupons now because we can let that thing run indefinitely. Now I also hooked up the rotors and the reinforced iron plates directly to these assemblers, so they are now staying active. So I also hooked up their output to a container, so I can periodically come through here, grab the smart plating, and throw that in here. That will give us a lot more coupons as well. So yeah, that's where we're at. Now, I did find, if we look at the map, there is a pure iron node, I think, down here. And so we will probably be going after that because that will be worth as much as our 2 normal nodes here that we are already mining. So that will be really nice. Now I also set up a regular miner on the copper node over here because we're only using 30 copper per minute over here. And that guy's putting out 30 copper a minute. So that's perfect. But we are getting cable automatically now, and that will be another thing that we will be syncing for the moment because yeah, we have too much stuff. So we'll go ahead and grab our surplus screws here as well. So we'll throw our extra screws and our cable in here. Now we are going to keep 1 stack of cable and 1 stack of screws, just simply because we're going to need that for things. The cable will automatically build up, but this will definitely up the point value that we're getting out of our sink. We want to make sure that it's at least getting some use. Now, another thing that I was thinking about potentially doing, we have the second coal line over here that we are not using. So I think I may set up a sink for that as well, just to get extra points. So yeah, that very much could be something we do. I guess we could also sink some of these copper sheets because we're not going to be needing that many of those. We'll probably want to get some stuff set up to where our overflow is running into sinks. So I don't know for sure how we're going to go about doing that. But for sure, like that extra coal line, we'll go ahead and start sinking that. We could potentially sink some of this coal as well. But yeah, there's plenty of stuff to do. But I think that in the next episode, we're actually going to start setting up our first full-on factory with walls and all of that. So we are going to want to try to get windows available. Now, those are available here in the Awesome Shop, so we will want to be getting some of that stuff figured out. But in order to get these, so our windowed walls, we need to get silica researched in the MAM. Now, we have not looked at the MAM at all yet. So let's go ahead and set this down and just see what do we need to do this. So can we rotate you? Let's see. Let's rotate you around here. And of course, this will all be moving soon. But so if we look at quartz in here, we need our quartz, and then I think the silica is right there. So let's go ahead and grab the little bit of quartz that we have, and this will allow us to start scanning for quartz as well. So let's go ahead and get this researched. 3 seconds, not too bad. And then yes, the silica, and we are going to, we are too short. Yes, we know, Ada. So let's go ahead and look and see, do we have any quartz nearby? Ooh, that is not a good sign. Now I know quartz can be, way up here. Now we've got a couple of normal purity nodes up there. But man, that is a long way away. And then clear down here. Oh man, that is a long way away for quartz. So yeah, this is clear up on the coast on the edge of the world. Is looking like the only quartz that we have available around here. Well, thankfully we have a bus line already coming in from that direction, so we might have to widen out the bus that we're running the coal on so that we can run that quartz. So yeah, I suppose I'll have to do a little bit of work on that between episodes so that we can try to get some of that stuff going. So yeah, I'm gonna say that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to give a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any thoughts about what I've been working on here, anything that I could do to improve efficiency, or anything like that, be sure to leave that down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Okay. Heart. Bye.